Hello again, viewers, and greetings, fellow space travelers. This is Thorn of Night, and welcome to episode 12 of 7 Days to Die. And you may recall from the last episode that I had attempted to put a wall of trees here and did not like the way it blinded my view of the surroundings. So I have a plan. Aw, that must have hit. Come on. Quit dancing. There we go. Anyway, my plan is to still have a wall of trees and use it as the tree farm. However, it's going to be a much bigger area around the main fort slash house structure that's going to be here. And that will give me plenty of room to do some expanding in here as well. But basically, I have at 4 different corners, there, and up there, I've laid out the design for where I'm going to have the wall. Now, I think what I'm going to end up doing is just taking this corner and dropping it down level with the main piece of land there. Same thing on the other side where it raises up. It's not going to be too much digging to deal with, but I just want to make it an even ground so I can have better access at the tree farm. Now, I'm not sure if a zombie will come to the edge if it encounters a tree, if it will try to go through the tree or continue to go around or what, but for the most part, this should at least steer most of the zombies away. I have had one zombie punching at a tree so far, but I think that's just because it got stuck on a neighboring block and tried to get through the simplest way it could, which was punching at whatever was in front of its face. So, with any luck, this should work. Now, I was planning on having a sort of, I guess a makeshift doorway area so that I could come in here, pop a couple trees, replant, and keep going, but I think it'd be better just to leave a one wide gap so that I can just come in, and I'll make sure it's nice and lit so I can see where it's located. But oh, hello. And you two, oh, come on. There we go. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get to work on the the digging of the two corners there and there. Oh no, there's a horde. After I deal with the horde, or rather ignore it if I can at all. I don't know if they're going to find my door or not, but I'm ready. Anyway, I'm going to cut here and get to work after the horde is done on the lowering of the corners, and I'll be back. There is one thing I wanted to do before I got too into my project out there, and also it's less than half an hour until danger time. So, what I wanted to do was make a couple of these things called hard metal secured doors. And these things are awesome because firstly, they're very durable. And second, they can be upgraded. And I'll show you what I mean here in just a moment. First, let me go ahead and break this door. Part of the reason why I wanted to do this is because of just how easy it is to break that door. So I can put these doors here like this. And now, with a tool and some more of these forged iron pieces, it can be upgraded twice, so it takes even longer for a zombie to break through it. There we go. Secure. Hard metal secure door. There we go. Double reinforced. Anyway, I'm going to wait for morning, now that it is officially danger time, and I will get back to my digging project and lowering the corners, and hopefully I will be able to come up with an idea for an entrance. I was tossing around maybe having a tunnel that goes just under the wall, but if a zombie gets, or if a horde comes straight at the tunnel, they could just come right in. So, well, I guess I could use doors, but anyway, that's something to figure out when I get everything else laid out. So, I'll be back. So, while I was digging this area out over here, a horde kind of snuck up on me. I heard it coming from this direction at the last second, so I bolted over that direction, and I found a supply crate. And in that supply crate was the schematic for making the SMG. So now I know how to make the SMG, but in order to make it, I have to, let's see here. Yeah, that was the correct one. SMG. I have to have the 3 different parts. Now, in order to make these 3 different parts, I can forge them. I can put them in a forge. Let's see here. Forging molds. There we go. However, in order to make the molds, I have to have the items. So I'm going to have probably 3 different SMGs. I'm going to have to disassemble each one so I can get one part from each gun. And then I can make some molds just in case, and then I can make an SMG. Now, the SMGs take the 10mm rounds, but that's fine. It is probably going to be some time before I even find an SMG, so I'm not going to make a point of trying to get it at this point in time. I will eventually have it, just I'm not going to go out of my way to try to get it just yet. And also there were a few other things. Had some rations, some more antibiotics, some 2 of these land claim blocks, some more of that. Nothing else really big. I don't even think there was ammo. But I just wanted to show you the schematic, let you know where it came from, let you know that I had learned it. And I'm going to get back to digging. I am going to utilize the gravity and the block strength mechanic by digging under all of this dirt. I think you have to destabilize it by 3 blocks in order for it to fall, but it will save a lot of digging than just coming all the way down. Always try to dig from the bottom. If you're trying to clear a mound or something like that, it will make your life a lot easier. But anyway, I'm going to get back to work, and I'll be back. Just in case you're unfamiliar with what I was mentioning before, I did go over this in a previous episode, but that doesn't mean you're aware of it. Uh, See how I have this dug out under this overhang here? If I continue digging this dirt, like this, it makes it so there is less support for the dirt blocks that were there, and they just auto dig. Now, some blocks, when they fall like that, do not drop an item, but dirt and sand and maybe stone, I think, will drop the item. So that's how I'm clearing all this out. It makes it so much easier than having to just dig one block at a time, coming all the way down. Thankfully, I don't have to deal with a whole lot of area for either corner. Oh, I think there's a horde coming. Maybe. Anyway, I am going to get back to work. Oh, maybe I was hearing a deer. No, it's still... Oh, that's a deer too. Anyway, I'm going to get back to work. I'll be back. Well, I finally died on this series. Unfortunately, I didn't get to record it. Be very careful when you're doing the digging of letting the dirt and stuff collapse. That you aren't directly underneath some of it as it's falling. Since I was crouched, I couldn't get away fast enough, and I kind of got squashed. Yeah. So, lives lost tally is now 1. I think I'll go hang my head in the corner now. But in the morning, I should be able to finish the other corner and then start laying the wood frames, which, by the way, I have 9 stacks of wood frames, which should be more than sufficient to house 2 layers of tree of the planted trees. I think what I'm going to do with one of the rows, however, is just make it one that I don't farm. That way there is always a solid wall, and the zombies don't get stuck in between the trees and all that while they're trying to regrow. I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to have it laid out, but I think I'm going with that sort of concept when it comes time to make it. But in the meantime, I have to wait for morning, so I'll be right back. So something has occurred to me while I'm waiting for morning to arrive. Apparently one of the books that I read recently taught me how to extract the bullet tips from bullets. So I can now do this, and you put it in the output, and it will give you one of the items of the recipe, and you can pull it out, and all the other items of the recipe just simply go poof. But now that I have bullet tip, I believe, yes, I can go ahead and do this. Like so, and then bullet tip mold. Which also means I should be considering doing this as well. Making a bullet casing mold. Oh, I still need one more clay. There we go. There we go. So now I can smelt lead into bullet tips and brass into bullet casings. And I'm probably going to set forges up for those down underground once I get everything lined up down there. I'm not going through bullets fast enough that I'm hugely concerned with it, but I do need to keep it in mind. So there we go. Bullet casings, bullet tips. And of course I still have the iron ingots, which I should probably consider doing some cooking of. The cement mold, which I can probably dispense with that at least for a little while. And the glass mold, which I might end up just having multiple glass molds, or glass mold forges. One for glass panes and what's this, broken glass that I find, and the other for when I deal with the sand, because this will get me lots of glass. But who knows? Maybe I will just not even cook the glass panes. Maybe I should just use it for making the greenhouse that I'm planning on doing later. Anyway, that's something for the future. I need to wait for morning, get back to digging. I'll be back. So something has occurred to me about my design here. When a horde comes in, even if it completely misses my house, it's going to get stuck in that corner or that corner. So what I'm probably going to have to do is make a slope gradually coming up behind where I'm going to have the tree line, because that could pose a problem. Who knows? Maybe they can just clear it out for me. I don't know. But I need to figure out a way to avoid that from happening. And the only thing I can think of is have a nice gradual slope. So I think that's what I'm going to work on for my next bit of the project. But I am ready to go ahead and start digging out a trough to lay the wood frames. Hello. Oh, and it's morning, so it's safe to go out. All right, excellent. What? Where are you? Wah! Oh, the corpse scared me. Hello. But yeah, something has to be done about this, because they're just digging a tunnel. Hello, everyone. So... Oh! There's a dog! There's a dog! So I'm going to deal with this, and then I'll be back. Alright, mission accomplished. Now if something walks towards the corner here, it can just walk straight up and out. It doesn't have to start punching things. That took a little bit longer than I had anticipated, but that's alright. I did notice one thing when I was making this. Well, actually, a couple things. One, in order to have a nice, smooth corner like this, you can't have the two edges come directly to the middle, and I will show you what I mean over on the other one. I'm probably going to fill this out so it looks like the one I just showed you. I have this one such that it comes straight into the corner and it leaves these little platforms, and I'm slightly concerned that something might get stuck on one of them. So the solution, of course, is to just fill everything in and make it a smooth slope. Hopefully this is going to be completely sufficient to prevent anything from getting stuck or whatever it is that happens there. There we go. Another thing is, while you are doing some terrain modification, if you have a little bit of dirt that sticks up but it isn't actually a hill, one thing you can do is have some, for instance, wood frames in your inventory. Look at the slope of that as it hits the hitbox on that. If I put this down, you can see that it changes slightly. I'll do it again here. So you can use these blocks to sort of flatten or otherwise change the contours of the landscape. It also works on hillsides to make them more even. Get out of the way. Go away. As you can see, there's some little divots here. If I put a block there and there, now this is pretty much uniform in this little stretch here. It doesn't make it perfectly flat. There's a little lip, but it will make it uniform if you don't like the appearance of something. But the next thing I need to work on, now that I have these slope banks in place, I need to start working on the trench for placing all of the wood frames for planting the trees. One thing I don't know about is if this dirt here is going to become grass or not. I'm not sure if grass migrates like it does in other games. So I might just leave it be. Maybe I'll do something with it, but for right now I'm just going to wait and see what happens with it. But anyway, I'm going to get back to work on the trench and hopefully be able to finish the wall before the end of the episode. So I'll be back. So I've been sitting at my house doing some busy work, crafting some bolts and things, and letting the wall of trees grow, and I heard some punching sounds, and then I heard the sound of a tree being felled. And I feared the worst. Went around looking, couldn't find anything, no zombies, nothing. And as it turns out, over the hill there, a zombie managed to knock down a tree. It was the weirdest thing. But I guess that means that they can target trees. Who knew? Hopefully, though, this is going to be sufficient to keep the vast majority of the bad guys out. I don't know how long it will take for all these to fully mature. And on top of that, I still have to get a bunch more seeds. Ooh, speaking of seeds. So I can continue completely surrounding the area with saplings. But for the most part, this stage of it is done. Now, from the house, part of the reason why I wanted to have the wall that far out, and actually I'm thinking I probably could have gone a little farther, but I'll just leave that open. It's at a point where I have to decide, is digging the hillside going to be worth justifying having a farther out wall? And at this point, I'm thinking not. But for right now, I'm going to wait for these things to mature a lot more, because the older and bigger the trees are, the higher likelihood there is of them dropping multiple saplings, or seeds rather, when you fell them. So I'm going to just hurry up and wait for a little while and see if I can get enough seeds to completely encircle the area, and if it looks like it's not going to cooperate, I'll just go chop down some trees, fill everything in with the seeds that I get from that. I only need about a stack and a quarter, something like that. So either way, it's going to get done. But for right now, I'm just going to stick around and wait. And whatever happens, you'll know when I come back in just a moment. Okay, so I have come to a conclusion on this. Well, actually, a couple conclusions. One, no matter how long you wait, there are some saplings that just refuse to do anything. Like, for instance, I've got one right here that is just not sprouting at all and probably won't. I waited and waited and waited, and there were some spots that just did not produce any trees whatsoever. Also, you may notice that I have completely surrounded my house with trees now, because I tore down the batch that was up there before down and was able to get enough saplings, or enough seeds rather, to go all the way around. And when I was doing that, I noticed something. On these small trees, clearly you can walk through some of them, some of the time, when they are next to each other. Well, these guys aren't letting me do it. But, I was able to do it before. Oh, there we go. Able to go through those. So, some of them will block, some of them won't. I had two fully grown ones, like the trunk was almost completely the entire size of the frame. Two of those right next to each other, and I was able to walk right through both of them. So, I'm thinking that this living wall is not going to be sufficient for what I want. However, I had a brainstorm, and I like these trenches. I do. I really like the concept of just herding the zombies around so that they don't want to walk into an area because there's a trench in the way and they don't want to walk off a cliff. So what my idea is something that might actually take me a little while to accomplish, but will totally be worth it in the end. I am going to widen this gap to 3 wide and drop it down to a point where only the tops of the fully mature trees will be visible. And I will have access to the base for farming from below. Now, let's see here. This looks like it's pretty close to tall enough. I don't know exactly how tall I need to make it. So let's count this really quick. 1, 2, and the reason I'm doing it like this is because if you do it just jump in place, you stand a chance of falling off sometimes, unless there's a block right next to it. So let's see here. Oh, even that still did it. That's unfortunate. At least I didn't take damage. Okay. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh boy. I'm not sure I like that. Let's put a little bit more on the sides here. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see how good this is. 9. Okay. So maybe 12? Oh! Be careful. Yeah, 12 should be sufficient. Also, I just don't want to fall anymore. I don't care about losing wood. I have plenty of it now. Ouch. That tickled a little. But that's going to have to be the start of a new project, because I think this episode has gone on long enough. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here with fail number 2 at making a tree wall. And I guess next episode I'm going to get started on the trench for the tree farm, and also, whoops, wrong button. I wanted to do a little exploring. I still need to go up here, see what all this is about. And there are lots of other locations on the map that I need to visit. So I think I'm going to start off the next episode with paying a visit to the northwest over here, past the school, and seeing what all I can find over here. And then I will be working on the tree farm trench, which will add an additional layer of security to my area, and it will also give me a huge yard to work with. This is on the inside, I think it's 63 across, so that's a lot of space that I can work with, which is wonderful. Now, what I have decided I'm going to use as the way in, instead of having a little bridge to cross the gap, I'm going to have a tunnel that goes underground and has a door access over on each of the four sides, so I can more easily get in and out. It'll probably be in a flat area like here, and I will just guard the entrance to the tunnel doorway with some of these wood frames that I can just pick up and put back whenever I want to get in and out. It shouldn't be too terribly difficult there. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please feel free to leave a message in the comment section below. I will do my best to get back to you as quick as I can, either in the videos or in the comments. If you like this video and you like what I'm doing here, please feel free to give a like. I do appreciate that. And if you haven't already, airdrop, go ahead and subscribe so you know when my future stuff comes out. But I'm going to wrap up here. So thank you once again for watching. This is Thorn of Night, and I will talk to you later.